Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And if you've been keeping up with the videos, I just got back from 4-track days. I did last Monday at New Jersey Motorsports Lightning, July 4th, last Thursday at Summit Point Raceway, and I did Saturday and Sunday at July 6th and 7th with also at Summit Point Raceway. I did 2.5 days on the Ninja H2. Actually, I did 3.5 days on the Ninja H2, and then Sunday on the 7th in the afternoon, I rode the ZX9. So really fun. Got to work on a few things, and I just want to do this quick video because I just wanted to give my long-term impression as a Ninja H2 owner. And you know, we see a lot of long-term reviews, but they're usually only a few months of ownership. It's not a true long-term review in my humble opinion. I've owned this brand new since 2016, and I've only used it on the track. I did the 600 break-in miles on the street, and the other 2,600 or so miles that I have on it are all track. So I think that I consider myself to be somewhat knowledgeable of the bike. I've done my own tuning, and you know, I've looked at almost nearly every aspect of the bike, with the exception of the engine internals, because I've never actually gone inside of an H2 motor. Anyhow, I'll cut to the chase. My feelings on this bike is that it is hands down the best bike that you can buy right now. It's the best bike that money can buy, in my humble opinion. And it's not just about the power, but this bike does everything well. It goes, obviously, it's got excellent brakes, and it can corner. I know a lot of people, they look at spec sheets and they say, well, the bike is 500 pounds, it must not be able to turn. The bike can turn. It really comes down to this. The lighter the bike, the less effort you have to exert to get it to do what you want it to do. The bike can get into a corner just as fast as anything else. It can get out of the corner just as fast as anything else. What determines how effectively you're able to do that and how quick a lap time you can run is your ability to muscle the bike and to hustle the bike. I'm 230 pounds. I'm a big dude. I'm trying to get my weight back down. I'm trying to lose some weight. However, my size gives me the ability to muscle the bike a little bit better than, say, someone who's 150 pounds who'd have to wrestle it. So I think for bigger guys, I think the H2 is probably the best you can get right now. If you're an all-around rider, I really believe that. Now, obviously, if you time a switchback from left to right on an R6 and then you time it on an H2, yes, the H2 will be a few tenths slower, okay? But we're talking tenths, right? You know, and the effort obviously is different. Whereas an R6 may take a lot less effort to turn than an H2 per se, or an S1000 or a CBR 1000, whatever the bike. It's gonna take a little less effort to turn, but you can work around those weaknesses, right? Because obviously the H2 is going to make up the power on the corner exit, and obviously you just put a little more muscle into the cornering and it's going to work. The other thing is, which I have not done yet, which I will probably do for 2020, is play with the geometry. In 2015 and 2016, the H2 didn't come with ride height adjustment. I believe the newer bikes that come with Öhlins have ride height dialed into the shock. I don't know for certain because I haven't seen one up close. But in any case, I'm going to put an aftermarket shock on this thing, and I'm going to raise the rear about 10 millimeters, maybe 15, and that will drastically, drastically make it a lot easier to turn into a corner. I'm not going to touch the front. I like the front, even though it does seem to sit a little high compared to some of the other bikes. But raising the rear will definitely make this thing turn on a dime. The next thing I would recommend. My bike right now makes 270 at the wheel, and that's a handful. I play around in fourth gear a lot. I rarely get into third gear because it's too perky on the track. I don't want to be in third gear fully leaned over. I'm running the H2R gearing with a 42 tooth sprocket in the back. I'm debating if I want to put a 41 tooth sprocket, make it even taller, so I can start to use third gear. I noticed that at the track some of the really fast guys are getting me on the drive out because they're in second gear on like a R1M or something, and I'm in fourth because I'm scared of the power. If I can just make it a little bit more smoother and I can play with third, then maybe I'll be able to hang on to the faster guys a little bit better. That's the second thing, the gearing. The brakes. The ABS is obviously a hindrance on the track. It's great for the street. Kawasaki marketed this for the street. I personally understand that, ABS has no place on the track. And so your stopping distances are going to be a little bit longer. And you can't really apply the full power to get that threshold braking and the feel that you would like. So, over the winter, I will probably remove the ABS system, and that will probably save about 5 or 6 pounds also, because it's a big unit and everything. So we're going to get rid of the ABS. So that's gearing, ABS, and a shock. Those are 3 things right now. The fourth thing that I would recommend is firmer fork springs. At Summit, I was hitting 181, 183 somewhat on the front straight on some of my best runs, and when I would apply the brakes really hard, it would bottom out on the forks, and I could show you the zip tie, but take my word for it, the zip tie is all the way at the bottom. So firmer springs for my weight, and that will complement the shock nicely, and we're going to give it some ride height in the back. Now, all of those things will address the handling characteristics of the bike. Power, the bike has more than enough power. You could leave this thing stock. I think if you leave it stock and you go up against a Flash S1000 or R1, you're going to get handled. You definitely want to flash it, but anything over 230 horsepower on this and you cooking with grease, I would flash it. And the intercoolers, whether you go with Travis Yeager's intercooler or Ben Shaw's intercooler in Australia from Extreme Creations, which is what I run, you're going to introduce a small amount of airflow restriction due to the large core in the plenum. And that's understandable. And so what I did to get around that was play with the supercharger gear ratio, so I'm spinning it faster, and I advanced the ignition timing to claw back some of the top end horsepower that was lost as a result of the restriction. I do believe Travis's, so now the thing with the intercooler kits, I do believe that Travis's kit poses less of a restriction, so it will make possibly better top end horsepower. However, Ben's kit, which is what I run, cools more efficiently, and so you kind of have your pick. However, they both cool very well. A lot of guys are running hybrids. They're using parts from Ben's kit and parts from Travis's kit. You'll have to check the Facebook group and the forums for more information on that. I don't really want to get into that right now. But when you de-restrict this bike, you definitely want an intercooler. I run the bike with the mirrors. I like the little winglet design built into the mirrors to provide the downforce. I may go full winglets, but in truth be told, I don't like the way the winglets look on the H2 model. I like the way they fit clean with the H2R fairing. So I may just leave well enough alone. I may just continue to run these mirrors and maybe get the lower winglets if I can get my hand on those. Personally, I feel that the H2 is still the best bike out. I think for track duty, obviously, if you would just solely focused on track, I think something like a V4R will probably be the top dog right now, and maybe the R1M, which is excellent electronics. And then below those two, then you have the S1000 and the underrated GSX-R 1000. In my opinion, it's very underrated. That bike is dynamite and probably the best handling of all the 1000s. Trust me on that. And so that's it. The H2 to me is the best bike out, and when I say best bike out, I think it does everything. You could go to the drag strip with it, you could do a track day with it, you could go to work on it if you wanted to leave it in a stockish trim. And it's crazy. It's crazy what Kawasaki has been able to do with this thing. Now, service and maintenance, I worked on mine. It's not for the faint of heart. And obviously, if you're building these things to the hilt, you do not want to be using this as a daily driver. My bike has 3,000 miles on it. I only use it for the track. If you guys are pushing 250, 260 horsepower, understand that that is a built motor. And you don't want to be beating on this thing every day. This is the bike you just pull it out when you want to kick some tail, and that's it. You got to understand that. You shine it up real nice and you park it, and then you bring it out when you want to ride it, you want to make a statement. Occasionally you can go out and run some errands on it, but it's not something you want to commute on every day, in my opinion. So that's that about the H2. Those are the main things. You know, I really think, actually, when I went out to Summit this trip, I knocked 4 seconds off my personal best. I was doing like 127s, and I came here out the gate, and I was like a high 123 with the H2. The thing was just, it just complements me really well. It complements my riding style really well, and I love the thing. You guys really gotta try it. Don't knock it. I know the styling is polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. But once you ride the thing, it's an animal. It's amazing. Don't sleep on it. The Sato GP shift rear sets are must have. It's $600. They are. I mean, it's awesome shifting. And so comfortable. Just bang the downshift, bob, 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 bob. Just bang the downshifts, and you know that's the fastest way. That's the fastest way around any riding scenario. So that's it. That's it on the H2. I just wanted to give you this long-term update. Everything's working great. Van Diemen exhaust working great. Sprint air filters working great. Flash tune kit. Bike's running solid. Extreme Creations intercooler. I didn't get over 175 degrees boost temps on a 101 degree day. Beating on it session after session after session after session after session for 3.5 days over the course of a week. Intercooler kept things civil. Also running Bridgestone tires. I'm going to let you see these towards the end of this video. I'm running the Bridgestone VO1 slicks. These come standard on the Ninja H2R. And I got 2.5 days out of this set. The front looks like it's good for another 2 to 3, maybe even 4 days. The front looks like it has very little wear on the wear markers. The rear, I'll let you see it. This is a medium. The rear has good edge grip, but the drive grip is gone after 2.5 days. I did last Sunday morning, and the first 2 sessions I was sliding around. I could feel it kicking out. Some guys would, that are more skilled than myself, would have kept riding it and just slid around the whole day, or stand the bike up and then get on the gas and change their riding style. It's hard for me to adapt my riding style in 90-degree heat and I'm tired and my body's achy and sore, I didn't feel like trying to adjust around the tire. So I put the H2 away and I pulled out the ZX9. The ZX9, as you know, is I'm going to talk a little bit about that now, is definitely a favorite of mine. And it was always underrated, but it's extremely comfortable, especially for big guys like myself. My whole bike is stock except for the Stage 1 jet kit, a Micron slip-on. I mean, the engine work and the chassis is stock suspension, no motor work. And I'm running the Bridgestone R11 DOT race tires, which just came out last year. Those things work great. Again, the fronts are superb. I feel like I can get 4 to 6 days out of the front. The rear on this bike, I got or nearly 2 days on it, and I feel like I can get another day on that rear tire. The MV beat up that R11 in a day. In all on, actually, yeah, I got 2 days on it, and it's all the way down. I don't remember if I did a video on that, but the MV really beat up that R11. But the MV's power delivery is brutal. It's not a smooth power delivery. MV Augusta never really had that as a strength. With the ZX9, carbureted, very soft hitting, very nice. And I actually got the bump with N2 to advanced on the ZX9, which I'm really excited about. The ZX9, after all these years with N2, finally got me the bump in advance. It was just so easy to be smooth and keep a nice arc through the corners. You've seen the ZX9 video when I was riding with Smoke. I mean, it was just such a smooth bike to ride. All of 140 horsepower, if that, maybe less on that hot and humid day, maybe 130. So that's that with the ZX9. Really, really, really good bikes, man. I mean, the H2 obviously is kind of still the flavor of the week in my opinion, but the ZX9 is like long gone. You get one of these from 98 to 03. You got such a capable bike that can get you all the way into advanced group. You can run respectable lap times, and you're comfortable in the street, and you can commute on it, and you can do whatever, and you can ride a passenger comfortably. The ZX9s are great. I really wish Kawasaki would bring them back, man, and just sell them like it's like a watered down sport touring kind of bike, man. They're good bikes. I know. Like everybody wants the new stuff, and the new stuff is awesome. But if you got $3,000 in your pocket and you need a bike to do everything, and you're a relatively big guy, a ZX9 is not a bad investment. I know a lot of guys want to go Gixxer 750 probably if they got $3,000, or maybe get lucky with a first gen leader bike, but the ZX9, man, is tremendous. It's a tremendous bargain, a tremendous value. It's good on gas. Oh, that was the other thing. With the Ninja H2, when I was at Lightning, with a full tank of gas, I only got 2 sessions. 2 sessions and that fuel light came on. Lightning is a fast track, and you're constantly on the boil. It has a very high average speed, and I did 2 sessions and I came in and I almost ran out of gas on the track once. The bike started hesitating. By the time I got it back to my tent, it just died. It was out of gas. ZX9, excellent on gas. That's another thing. Probably gets 40 to 45 miles a gallon. Well, with the jet kit, maybe like 35 to 40, in all honesty. So that's that. Just going to give you this update after my long track weekend, and it was super fun. You guys just get your bikes out there, man. Get to the track, work on your skills, have a nice fresh set of tires, and understand something too. Any tire you're running, Dunlop Q4, Pirelli, Bridgestone RS10. If you're running like a street/track day tire, those tires are enough to get you to the advanced group. In my experience, here's the difference between a DOT race and a street tire. A primary difference. A street tire, like a Q4, can run a fast lap. right? So a Summit, you could take a Q4 and run a 1 minute 20. I've seen it, right? However, by the third or fourth lap at that pace, they'll move around on you a little bit, okay? A DOT race tire, you'll run that 120, but you'll get consistent performance through the entire 15 to 20 minute session. That's, to me, that is the primary difference between the street and the DOT race. So a lot of guys are asking, hey, should I get a DOT race? Should I run the Q4s? Look, if 1 minute 20 is a fast lap and you're running 1 minute 28s, 27s, or 30s, stay on the Q4 and just, work on your skills, get down. But understand that you can get all the way to the advanced group in pretty much any organization on any street tire today, because the street tires today are still seconds faster per lap than some of the race tires from just 10 years ago. So don't overthink tires. Just get a good baseline setup, watch your tire pressure, and just go out there, man, and have fun. Don't even think about slicks until you can keep heating them. And that's my recommendation for that. DOT race versus slicks. I think the slicks will offer you more feel and maybe a little more comfort, but it's incremental. I think you really need to be at the faster end to understand the difference between DOT race and a slick. Slicks last a little bit longer. You get more days of life out of the slicks than you would a DOT race. But when it comes to like a damp track on a humid day or wet day, a slick is obviously, like, some clubs won't even let you go out onto the track. So there's other things to keep in mind too. Guys in the United Kingdom probably never run slicks because it's always raining over there. Just kidding, guys. But yeah, they're probably like laughing right now because it's probably true. But that's it. So here, let me bring you guys in. Just move the camera a little bit and just show you guys the tires. And this is the Bridgestone VO1 slick. And lighting is a little bit low because I'm in the trailer still. Here, let me hang on a second, guys. Let me bring these legs in. Bear with me. Okay. So, right here, left side. I didn't beat up the left sides too much. But it got, the left side is probably good for another day or two. And like I said, the edge grip is good. Right hand side, you can tell we got busy over there. But it's this section of the tire. And sorry for the light. Let me see if I can. Actually, I don't have my light with me. Hang on. Okay, so if you look at that part of the tire, like right here, there's no more wear marker there. The drive grip on this tire was all gone. And we'll move up there, and then you can see it pretty much got beat up a little bit. Those wear markers are completely gone. So coming out of that fast right-hander turn 10 at Summit, I was spinning up, feeling it. Moving around, and a lot of guys at that point will flip the tire. I just take them off. I don't flip rears. When the grip goes, I just change them out. But these are good. These are after 2.5 days, and this also shows you how good the stock suspension is. Stock suspension was working great. I had Mark from Mark Built Racing set it up. We got no chicken strip there, guys. I just want you to see that. There's no chicken strip, and I didn't even use the left side that much. Same thing on the right-hand side. We're using all of the tire. We were lean. We were doing it last week. And these Bridgestone VO1 slicks are great. Here's the R11 on the ZX9. And you can see the drive grip is a little bit worn, but the wear markers are still looking decent. There's another day left in this tire. No chicken strips on these. and I got the bump 2 advanced on this tire with the ZX9. So guys, you know, don't overthink things, and you know, I think you'll go far. I think you'll go far if you know, don't overthink things, and you just take your time, have fun, and let the speed come to you. Don't go out and try to push too much. You know, we had a lot of accidents. We had a lot of accidents last week. You know, guys were getting tired, and they weren't, you know, they weren't going in when they got tired, and it was a bad situation. One guy almost had to go to the hospital. I'm gonna sit you guys down. One guy almost had to go to the hospital, and he almost collided. He took someone else out. I mean, it was just, we had almost a crash every session at the track last week, and it's really unfortunate. It's unnecessary, you know. And I overheard the control riders talking. They were like, yeah, the guy was shaking his head. He was getting frustrated, and he came up on slower riders. Just hot pit, ask for some fresh track and go back out. It's recreation, guys. We're not out there racing. We're not pros. You know, it's a track day. Just pick, you know, when it's crowded, and I don't like crowded track days as much as the next person, but when it's crowded, just pick something to work on. Pick a corner and focus on that corner. You know, you can still make a good day out of it. You know, don't be so caught up on trying to put together a fast lap. You know, if you're an I group, you still got a lot to work on. You know, and even as an advanced rider, I still have a lot to work on. And some guys, man, when they go around me, and I'm like, man, they're going in there a lot faster than I am. I can work on there. I can work on being smooth. I can work on my fitness, and so on. So there's always something to work on. So I think I'm gonna keep this video a little bit short. So 27 minutes haven't run on my mouth, but you know, want you guys to just get the full experience, or the full message, you know, behind my experiences and behind the time on the track, and my long-term review of the H2. It's been virtually problem-free, and yeah, I wish everybody could ride it at least once just to see. So on that note, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying the content, and appreciate all the support in the comments. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations, I'd love to hear it. Going to be taking a little bit of break from the track. I think I spent all my money, but we're probably going to be looking to go out back to Mid-Ohio with my good buddy in Cleveland. So a filthy Cleveland, y'all know who he is. So we're going to work on it. We're going to try to make that happen before the season ends. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and until next time.